Welcome to Tokyo Talks, a podcast where creatives, entrepreneurs share real, unfiltered stories of building bold lives at the intersection of business, culture, and identity in Tokyo. I'm your host, Ananya, and today on the podcast, I'm joined by Anton, a Swedish entrepreneur turning Japan's abandoned houses into beautiful, modern Japandi stays. He's well known in Tokyo for his extensive modeling background and has built an online following of millions and wrote a book called Free Houses in Japan, all while sharing his love for Japan and Akiya. So with that, let's get started. Thank you, Anton, for coming.
Thank you for having me, Ananya.
Yeah, I mean, it's really rare to see someone who's mixed content creation and entrepreneurship into their life in Japan. And that's always something that I've admired very much about you. And so I'm excited to kind of dig into that more and kind of hear your real story.
Thank you very much. I'm excited too. It's the first time we're having a long conversation together. Yeah. We've been working together many times, but
so true.
Not having a deep conversation like this.
So with that, I really think one thing I don't know too much about you is kind of how you grew up and your connection to Japan. I've heard it a couple of times, but I really want to kind of get to the bottom of that and really understand where your passion kind of comes from. So I'd love to learn. So you didn't grow up in Japan. You grew up in Sweden.
I grew up in Sweden. I grew up in a very typical Swedish grown up. I have 2 younger sisters.
Oh.
My parents, they bought a fixer-upper in the suburbs of Stockholm when I was about 2 years old. Me and my sisters, we were fixing with leftover materials and building small forts.
Wow.
In our garden. It was a lot of big trees, a lot of not very well taken care of, not very Japanese in a way. Yeah, I lived there until I was 18, 19, and then my modeling career kind of took off. I lived kind of all over the world, and I came to Japan for the first time in 2015 when I was 23, 24 years old. And at that time, I knew literally nothing about Japan.
But did you know that you wanted to be a model? And,
it kind of just happened. It's in Sweden, it's many people, we take a sabbatical kind of after high school. So we take a year where we work in a supermarket, you work in a cafe, you work in a restaurant, and then you save up money and then you go travel for a year.
I see.
So it's a 1 or 2 gap years kind of. And then you start studying it at uni.
That's kind of nice. Wow.
It is. So you get some kind of experience in in life. And for a lot of people that becomes life takes you somewhere. And for me it was modeling. I worked in a supermarket when I got scouted as a model in a mall in Stockholm, in Gallerian. And the managers, the 2 guys, Love and Matthias, who became my managers later on, they were like, yeah, you should definitely sign with us and start modeling. And I signed with them, and then 2 weeks later I was in New York.
You didn't think it was sketchy for a second? These random guys talking to me in a supermarket?
It was a little bit scary because I was 18, 19 at the time. Wow. Luckily I'm not a woman. Women, they start 15, 14, 15, 16. I worked with so many, especially Russian girls here in Japan. And they're so young. I don't even know what I was thinking at that time. But I took a leap of faith and I could travel and work at the same time, basically. While all my friends were working and then traveling, for me it was kind of multitasking, having a really good time. I spent a lot of time in Milano, Paris, London. Wow. And then eventually I spent about 2 years in New York. But 2015 was the first time I came to Japan, and it really blew my mind. We have literally no Asians in Sweden. I knew nothing about Japan. Japan, Korea, China, it's kind of it's all the same. It's on that side of the world. Obviously I knew Nintendo, maybe Toyota, Super Mario, a lot of things that you kind of learn as a child, and it's around you, but you can't really connect that it's from Japan.
Yeah, you just have this weird understanding that it's somewhere around Japan. It's but you don't know.
And the soccer World Cup in 2002, South Korea and Japan.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's
another connection there that you had. But
Totally.
You
And
didn't.
all the weird, I don't know if it was the same in the US, but all the weird kind of geeky kids
Yeah.
with the pink
Yeah.
hair or the blue hair, they all
Yeah.
love Japan and Dragon Ball as well.
Yeah.
The weird kids used to
Yeah.
read Dragon Ball. Oh, they were reading from the right to the left, and like
Yeah.
it was really like, yeah,
It was niche.
it was very niche.
I was definitely the weird kid at school because no one else knew about Hatsune Miku. No one else knew about Japanese manga.
I don't even know about Hatsune Miku
Oh, really?
right now, so
There you go.
Yeah, but I became
Yeah.
one of the weird kids later after
exactly.
spending a lot of time here.
Oh, that's amazing. And so 2015, it's your career that led you here.
Yes.
And did you start learning Japanese from coming to Japan, or like did you have any idea you wanted to live here, or was it just sort of?
So I always had this kind of, I think, complex about not going to uni.
Oh,
Because I
see.
did modeling. Like
Right.
it's a bad excuse, but it's still a kind of a valid excuse, because I wanted to study, and I studied a lot of things online because I was always traveling with my modeling, but I never did it wholehearted. So I wanted to learn, I wanted to study. So I have about 2/3 of a degree from a Swedish university, but I never really finished it because I had to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning when I lived in New York and like take classes, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But I came here in 2015 after my Japanese management that I'm still with for modeling, Bon Image. Their manager at the time, Maeda-san, he scouted me in a hotel in Milano during Milano Fashion Week. And then 3 months later, like, yeah, they called me to Japan. So I came here for 2.5 months, and I lived in Roppongi in one of the tiny model apartments. And it just opened up my eyes for Asia. And yeah, now I live here 10 years later.
That's insane. And how long have you been living in Japan?
So I've been living here full time for 7 years. So end of 2018. So about 3 years later, I came to Japan. And then about 1 year or 2 years later, I started learning Japanese, because language is something that you always can like, and it like you can grade it. Like N1, did you pass N1? Did you pass N2? Or you could have a master's degree in Japanese, but that doesn't really mean anything. Like if you can have this conversation in Japanese, I think to me that means more than having on paper that you understand Keigo or Sonkeigo, or if you have JLPT N1 or whatever.
I totally agree. I think for me too, I never thought about JLPT is great. I think it like creates a good standard, but it's like the real conversations that's always been top of mind. And then it's like, okay, if you get that, then that's like great too.
Totally,
you know?
totally.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried it?
I did, but it was literally just because I was like, oh, I want to see where I'm at. Like, okay, let's see. And so I took N2 when I was in college, and then I took right before the pandemic. So then I, took it and then passed that, and then took the N1 last year. And I asked people
Did you pass N1?
I did.
Oh, you did? I failed.
Really?
Yeah.
You just have to. I just guessed so
Oh, really?
much.
I had like 70 points out of, I think 85 was passing.
I was also really close to the curve, to be honest. But I asked a lot of the people there, and I was like, why are you taking this test? And everyone was like, oh, just for fun.
Really?
No one was there for a specific reason. At that point, when you get to N1, I think it's like everyone's just there because they want to prove it to themselves.
I see.
And I definitely felt that.
Because you don't really need it for like getting into a job or anything, really.
Not really. You could get it for PR maybe, for points.
Yeah, you get extra points for that too.
That's the reason I was taking it.
Yeah.
And so but
it was like all the Japanese there was Japanese you never really used.
Never used.
And you probably get that too from your followers and fans. And like, how do you study Japanese?
Yeah,
like,
all the time.
You have a course and everything too. So, but like I think learning Japanese is about what's your end goal with it.
Yeah.
You want to like be able to speak in an izakaya, or do you want to learn how to write or read? Because it's like it's all intertwined in a way, but like I think you have to have that in mind and then kind of calculate backwards.
Why did you learn Japanese, and how?
That's a very interesting question. First of all, I think I had this complex about not going to uni. I wanted to study something. I liked Japan. I like Japanese culture. So it was just like in front of my face, just waving, hey, here I am. So I started learning hiragana, katakana. And then when I moved here, I signed up for theater school in Japanese.
Theater school?
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
I learned Japanese through theater school, like Japanese tongue twisters. Yeah, namakome, 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 namatamago.
Yeah.
And then they have like 5 minutes long Wirouri. Do you know this one?
No.
拙者、親方と申すは、お立ち会いのうちにご存知の方ござりましょうが。I've forgotten most of it. But like, I learned Japanese scripts.
Yeah.
With 19 Japanese students and Japanese teachers who didn't speak a word of English. So I was thrown into there.
That's a lot.
It was so hard. I would never do it again.
Wow.
I'm very happy and grateful that I did it. But I did that for 1 year and then the pandemic hit.
I see.
And I decided to not do that online.
And so you did most of your Japanese studies through that theater school?
Most of it through the theater school, but I was also I could relate to you a lot there, like being very obsessive. Like just, okay, I'm going to fit my 3 hours of Japanese in today. And then over time, it just accumulates. And then at some point, you can have these conversations, right?
But I think it's that obsession that leads you to not just Japanese learning, but learning more about the culture that feeds back into the studying. And you mentioned once that like you used to listen to like and like Japanese rappers, and I listen to a lot myself. And I think it's cool because they use Japanese language in like a unique way that you never get to see anywhere else.
But they play around with it.
Yeah.
Because like when you study with a Japanese textbook like Genki or Minna no Nihongo or all of these textbooks, it's like, it's so square. It's like there's only one way of saying, watashi wa Anton desu. It's like, I mean, that's the way to learn the basics, but you never really get away from those basics if you just study with textbooks.
Exactly. That's true. And it's like, it kind of like takes away the fun of Japanese learning, in my opinion. I just could not sit in a classroom and learn Japanese.
Yeah, you got to be creative and like kind of learn it. Yeah, that's why I chose theater. Really.
Wow. I've never heard that answer before at all.
I met someone. I did a TV show for Nippon Terebi, I think, in February. And one of the translators now went to the same acting school.
Wow.
Or theater
school. It's kind of crazy.
And he was like the second foreigner, I think. So the teachers were like always comparing him to me because I was the first one. And then
I see. You're the senpai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He called me that, but I don't really like that senpai call.
Yeah. But you came here in 2018.
Yes.
And were you just ready to continue your modeling career in Japan? Is that the original plan? So that's
the main reason why I came here. Like, I came here for modeling. I got a 6-month visa, and my manager, Maeda-san, he was always like, you got to learn Japanese. And I studied my ass off. I learned every day. I was really obsessive, out talking to people, like buying new books to read, children's books, JLP, like just consuming a lot.
In Japan. That's it's really hard because you're exposed 24/7. It's kind of stressful.
It is, but it's also fun. It's kind of like, the days, they kind of go by, and then 3 months later you're able to have a conversation that you weren't able to have like 3 months.
Wow. And so you were studying Japanese, doing your modeling career.
Yes.
For how, like, was that kind of the plan, and how many years were you doing that?
I didn't really that was 2018. So I've done modeling full time kind of all over the world for 7 years. I remember when moving to Japan, my European agencies, they were kind of pissed because I was going to be so far away, and everything that they built up I kind of said bye-bye to it because they couldn't fly you in from Japan.
Oh, they can't.
They could, but it's like if you fly within Europe, it's like $100.
Yeah.
Or you could take the Eurostar in between Paris and London. But like going from Japan at the time, it's probably $1,000. Yeah. And that would eat the entire budget from the client.
I see.
So people were really like, okay, but you're coming back home soon, right? You're coming back home soon. So I kind of said bye to Europe and bye to the US, and I moved to Japan. And at the first time when I moved here, I had a 6-month visa. So modeling, theater school, and they were really supportive, my managers, because I was there on the modeling visa, but they saw that I wanted something else. They saw that I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
And I renewed that visa, and then I bought my first apartment.
You bought your first apartment?
Yes.
What made you decide to buy one versus renting?
Because I've been living in all of these places, and it's so easy to, if you just have the money, you can rent the place in New York, in Milan, in London, in Paris, in Stockholm. Stockholm is a little bit different because we don't really have that many. We don't really have that many. We have a housing crisis on the other side. There's no stock of housing.
Oh, okay, I see.
But Japan, it was impossible. It was like you couldn't find a place to live. You had the money, you had the guarantor, you had the safety, but still you couldn't find a place to live.
Why is that?
Good question. So I lived in a model apartment at first, and then I moved into a share house. But when I wanted to find my own place, it just wasn't possible. So I met this crazy Canadian dude who said that if you want to stay in Japan for a longer period of time, you got to buy a place. So I found a place, a small, cute apartment for about 14 million yen, which is about 90,000 US dollars. And I took the money that I saved from modeling, transferred them into Japan, and purchased my first apartment. It was a really big risk. Like everybody around me was like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Like, you're going to fail.
Wow.
You're going to go bankrupt. Everybody but that Canadian dude.
What made you decide to take that leap of faith?
I wouldn't say on the run, but like when you're doing modeling, there's always something else. And you have one foot in, one foot out.
Yeah.
And you're
That's
kind
true.
of like, you're not really committed. And I think that was a way for me to tell myself, other than that, like I believed in it, but it was a way for me to commit to what I was doing. I think.
I really understand that. And I hear a lot of stories. I mean, I'm not telling people they should do this, but many entrepreneurs tend to buy apartments or rent apartments or offices that are more expensive than they can afford to kind of put pressure on themselves or like, make a commitment to what they're doing. And it's like a weird psychological shift that you can do. It doesn't have to be buying
but it's
a house,
so scary.
Yeah.
At that time, it's like, okay, I've been working my ass off for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to put that money into a country that I barely speak the language. I will speak the language, but I don't fully understand it yet. And I definitely don't fully understand the rules when it comes to real estate.
How did you feel okay doing that? I would freak out.
Yeah, it was really scary, but it was a cash purchase. The biggest one of my life at the time.
Wow.
So it was no banks or anything involved.
Just
so
cash.
That made it, I wired the money and then I went to the bank and the banker physically took out the money to me, then to the seller, and then back into the banker again. It was SMBC in Shibuya. So they fully demonstrated how the money transaction was. It was crazy. We're not using cash in Sweden at all.
Yeah.
So
you really saw your money in front of you.
I mean, you did.
Yeah.
You saw it all.
Gosh. And you bought an apartment. You were living there, I assume. And
first of all, it was like you couldn't live in the apartment.
Oh.
At the time. It was like you really had to renovate this place. So I started smashing down what you could smash down. And then I found out how hard it is to get rid of trash in Japan.
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculously hard.
It was crazy. I also got like, I knew nothing. I only knew people in the theater industry and in the fashion industry. So yeah, I got screwed over by a few companies in the beginning.
There's a lot of sketchy like companies like for selling stuff or throwing away stuff. Like they will try and like steal your stuff or like charge you exuberant amounts to like normally you have to pay to sell stuff, right? In Japan. And there's companies that do this.
Do you have any bad experiences with this?
No, but I've heard a lot of bad experiences and just the concept that you have to throw away your trash and pay for it. It's a really good concept for the, it's sustainable
clean.
Practices. Yeah. So clean, but it also makes it really difficult when you do have to move.
Totally.
Example.
Yeah, you cannot just throw out your mattress like they do in New York, right?
Yeah, I mean, we just throw it on the street, like someone will take it,
Yeah.
like, and so it's kind of, completely different, and you have to be careful.
Totally.
But wow, so I guess it helps that as a child you had an experience like, building your own forts, etc. So like renovating wasn't a crazy hurdle for you.
So renovating it's been around me my entire life, basically. I think any Swede kind of know. I went back. I came this morning back to Japan, right? So I've spent the past few days with my friends back home in Sweden, and they've all been renovating or changing things in their apartments, and they do it all by themselves. So I think it's a Northern European thing. Really.
Interesting.
So that was my grown up. Bought a place here, and renovated this place for about 6 months, and then I lived in it.
Okay.
But then when the renovation was done, like, I got itchy fingers and I wanted to keep doing it somewhere, right?
Really?
And then I stumbled upon Akiya's.
Okay. How did you stumble upon Akiya's?
So I wanted to find something to renovate. And I went to my local big real estate agency owned by Tokyo, so Ribaburu, livable. And they're like, we can show you some shitty houses that no one else wants.
Yeah.
And we drove around with him. What was it? Shimamura-san, I think his name was. We drove around in his little car and looked at like really bad houses. And there was one house like not too far away from where I purchased my apartment that I really liked. The area was good. It was tilting a lot. And I saw like really good sunlight. The area was good. Very calm little street. And but I didn't have any money because I spent all the money into buying this apartment. But this guy, Shimamura-san, he knew someone at a bank who could, they put up all the money for me. And that wouldn't even, like, I've been here for like one and a half years.
What?
And they lent me all the money to buy this house. This was in 2020, like a month before COVID hit.
Wow.
So
they trusted you a lot.
Apparently. I didn't even I had this apartment that I owned cash that I purchased upright. I think that was
that
it.
Helps. Yeah.
I think that was solely it because I didn't even do my kakute shinkoku. I hadn't done anything. I had a 6-month visa and they gave me a loan of like, $160,000 or something. And
so you were like, all right.
And then I got the keys. And then 1 month later, 1 or 2 weeks later, the first state of emergency happened. So I was in Okinawa shooting a modeling job. And we had to go back to Tokyo like a day earlier because of what do you call it? State of emergency in Japanese.
With COVID. なんだっけ?
Yes, Kinkyu Jitai Sengen. So first Kinkyu Jitai Sengen happened.
Yeah.
And the whole modeling world just shut off.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you can't do anything else.
Yeah, no castings, no nothing. All the agencies were closed. And I had this house that I purchased. So I became a carpenter for like the next 6 months. I did a few because the modeling, like no one could enter Japan, right? So I worked a lot, but no castings. I worked once or twice a week. And then I was a carpenter.
Wow.
So during these 6 months, I fixed this house up. And I learned so much. And all my friends came to help as well. Because no one else had any work. Yeah. So we were all hanging out in my soon to be renovated house in Ananya.
Is that when you started social media?
So when this house was done, so Japan has this problem with all these akiyas, these vacant homes. And if you don't understand Japan, if you don't understand Japanese, it's hard to understand what houses are, first of all, vacant. Second of all, if there's a possibility to buy them or not.
So even if they're on the market, you can't buy them?
Yeah, but most of these houses are not on the market.
Oh, interesting.
So my neighbor's house I had like 3 of my neighbor's houses at the time were vacant. So I just knocked their door. And like, because I was there working, right?
Yeah.
And they came once a month to air it out. And it's been vacant for like 10 years, that house. So I asked them, can I purchase this house too? And they're like, yeah, you really want to buy this house? Like,
that's crazy.
They asked me that.
Wow.
Are you sure? Are you sure you want to buy this house? So they showed it to me, and then it's been vacant for like 10 years. Like
no one's using it.
No one's using it. All the stuff left behind, all the vinyls, all the tables, all the stones, all the heaters, everything. This is a house built before the First World War in 1936.
What?
So that process, I finished the first house, talked to the seller of the second house, and 15 months later, I got the keys to it. And around between that time, I started social media, but I started social media in Japanese.
Oh, that's actually not why most people know you nowadays.
No. So I started it in Japanese, and I did a lot of like DIY funny sketches, cultural, more similar content to what you're doing right now. It's like cultural differences.
Yeah.
This is how it works in Japan, and this is how it works abroad. And if you did them right, like they always had like a lot of views, and a lot of そうなんだ. But all from like Japanese people.
But it makes sense because you were learning Japanese and you're so immersed in the culture. So, okay, let's make a channel or make content about
and
that.
it was a lot of fun too. And you learn how to edit. And in Japanese, it was like when you had grammatical mistakes, people were always commenting.
Always correcting you.
Which was good for your language ability. But I started in Japanese. And then when that neighbor's house was done, when we finished that renovation, that took 1 year. It was such a hard renovation. Like we lived right next to it. It was like the biggest renovation. We had to redo the entire structure. During COVID, I didn't leave Japan for, I think, almost 3 years because I didn't want to quarantine for like 2 weeks in a prison cell in Shinagawa somewhere without a window. Like it was before you moved here, I think.
Yeah, I actually didn't know anything about this.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And we finished it. And then I had this idea. Now I'm tired of making content in Japanese. I did that for 2 years. And I made 2 videos in English. Made brand new accounts on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And I posted those 2 videos. And I kind of forgot about it. And 3 days later, I went to... Because I was still like logged in on my Japanese accounts. And I went to a party. And then like 1 or 2 a.m. I went to the toilet, I remember. And I looked at my phone. And my friend in Paris, he was like, dude, you're all over my friend's TikToks. And like he sent me like a video of his friend showing him like my videos. And then I had, I think, 4,000 or 5,000 followers on TikTok. And I think my first 2 videos had like 30 million views or something in total. And I think that was that's when I realized, okay, foreigners really want to learn about like renovating houses in Japan.
So instantly, straight off the bat, it was just that topic, and in English, you just hit the jackpot.
I hit the jackpot, but I think it's more to it. Like I've been renovating houses in Japan for several years. I learned how to make content. I know how to shoot things. I'm not afraid of a camera. I've been doing modeling for like 15 years now. So like I think all of those things adds up as well.
It does.
And it's not only about like renovating houses. I think it's about like also kind of similar what you're doing, Ananya, about like translating a culture and kind of sharing your experiences with that culture to the world.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't know and understand Japanese, you can understand my content and you can live a Japanese kind of life through our content.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I grew up watching, other creators, you know, on YouTube and their lives in Japan, kind of vicariously enjoying that until I could actually get here. And so I think this is just the next generation of people who are continuously doing that. And there will always be like an outlet of people kind of doing that because it's just so difficult to get to Japan, or you know, so many people dream about it, Yeah,
especially when it comes to like anime and stuff too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so you kind of figured out, okay, the world wants to see this content. And did you just double down on that?
Like, That's a very good question. It kind of hit me. Like I made 2 videos. I was done renovating. I've been renovating almost every day when I didn't do modeling for a year.
Wow.
And then the house was beautiful. It was finished. I made 2 videos. I was home like for the first time. Imagine for the first time in like a year, I have a little bit of free time. So I make 2 videos. And then like a few days later, people are like, okay, you're viral in France. Like I'm viral in the US. I'm viral. Then what do you do? Like it was kind of stressful in a way. It was really overwhelming. Like, okay, now I kind of have to ride the wave in a way.
Yeah.
So I bought a selfie light. I bought like a camera and started making, I doubled down on it. And it's a very similar situation where I am right now. Because like the past month we've had like 100 million views on my channels for like.
Gosh. Wow.
But now, when you go viral a few times, you kind of learn how to swoop it up. But at that time, it was like it just hit you like a wave, and then you become like kind of paralyzed because you have all these thousands of people writing you, and you're like, should I answer these messages? Should I like like now I know like okay, people are gonna comment and there's no way to answer all these comments. But how do you know in the beginning? It's like it's kind of like
you just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
There aren't many people who can like guide you through it necessarily either. You have to have your own experience through it. Yeah.
And you have to like learn how to like kind of shut it off. Like and not take it personal because 90% is good, but 10% is bad. And if someone is saying like, oh, you're ugly or your design is ugly or why are you wearing that? Like you need to learn how to not take that personal. Right?
It's tough. And I think especially it comes with growing and stuff like that. Because I think the first couple times I went viral, it was more validating for me where I was like, wow, like what I think is funny, other people like think it's funny too. And so then I felt like, okay, I can make comedic skits or whatever the way that I think that I like to make them, you know. But as you grow and you know you spend time on the internet, it's like it can get very toxic and being too on it, and that's something that I've had to deal with myself where I'm like, okay, this isn't me, you know.
But
it's not, it's a reflection
exactly
of them.
But then like people are following and commenting because you're doing this, and then because they're commenting you start doing something else, something different, right? If you would just do your thing and then just shut it off and they just keep going in your lane, like it's gonna like your momentum is gonna keep going. That's right, because you're doing what you want to do.
That's so important. Doing what you do at the end of the day is like more powerful than anything in content. I think no one else can beat you if it's truly what you like to do.
But I think you need to have those experiences in order to learn how to shut the noise out and do your thing in a way.
That's very true. So you're out here in Japan, you're buying Akiyas, you're renovating them.
Yes.
You also have your modeling career and social media. What, at this point, living in Japan, a couple years have gone by, what was kind of the biggest challenge living in Japan?
The biggest challenge? It's also a good question.
Thank you.
I think all the bureaucracy around, like you don't get a black and white answer for anything. We're renovating the house in Chiba right now. And last week, right before I went to Sweden, I'm changing out the septic tank because it's we're right by the waterfall and you cannot connect the pipes to the sewer system. So we have to go to like 6 different instances because no one wants to take responsibility for anything. And then in the end, they send you back to like the third place you go to. And that happens all the time whenever I'm getting my hotel licenses, like electricity permits, Wi-Fi, Koji, like everything is like, it's not black and white and you don't really know the real rules for anything. And people believe that Japan is so strict, and it is. But Japan also has so many more gray zones than anywhere else. And I think that is the biggest challenge with what I'm doing, really.
Because I think a lot of the time there's a lot of rules.
Yeah.
But it's different rules for different people, different rules for different situations. And
different areas.
And so it's like every time you kind of have to, make sure if that's really true or not.
Yeah.
Because
But
you can actually do a lot of things if you just ask sometimes too.
Yeah, or sometimes you can do a lot of things if you don't ask.
That too.
And then you apologize later.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Ask
they're
for
like, okay,
forgiveness.
sign off on it. Or
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things that there's no guidebooks for a lot of, especially when it comes to renovation, because people here, they're like with Japanese culture of like scrap and build. They scrap an old house and build something brand new. So when it comes to renovation, this year actually, like the first time in decades, like new renovation laws came because people actually started to renovate now recently.
Wow.
But up until like this year, it's been anyone can renovate like without permits.
Interesting.
Basically.
And yeah, with the rules and everything, I feel that every single day, whether it's me incorporating my business right now or getting a visa, a lot of the time I've been told like, oh, you only have this choice of this visa, nothing else. And then you do some research, you're like, how about this one? They're like, oh yeah, actually that works. It's like, no, you can't say there's nothing left, and so there's a lot of like gray zones where you can.
But I think it's because people speak from their own experiences, and their own experiences only. If they've helped someone else get that, it's just what I had this conversation with a visa lawyer that I know. He didn't help me with my visa, but he said that he's done this before, so he can help me with that. But if it's something new, like
I see.
ちょっと調べてみます.
Okay.
That was kind of like
research a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like,
so he couldn't give me an answer,
I see. I think it's also the liability that comes with being like, yes, of course we can do that. It's like, it's too much to take on. And so there's never a perfect yes either. And so, yeah, I think it takes a lot of navigation, and it's a little stressful, but
and time consuming too.
And time consuming for sure.
Like you have to run around and do stupid things. But I think that's another thing. I've only been kind of an adult in Japan. I was always like a kid when I was elsewhere in a way.
Yeah.
So maybe this is what adult looks like anywhere in the world.
That's true. Yeah. And yeah, it's a little bit difficult. I think even for me as well, I'm trying to rent an office right now, and so I get the it's like, oh, we don't take foreigners, and it's I was like, oh wow, this is the first time I ever got this. It's like it's finally here.
Yeah, probably not the last time.
Probably not the last time. But yeah, I think it's part of being a foreigner in Japan.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, in your time in Japan so far, like, what's it like living in Japan as a foreigner?
I love life here.
Yeah.
Life here is so good. It's clean. It's safe. What is it, like 10 shootings a year?
Really?
Yeah, like you reserve a seat by putting your phone on the table, and then you go to Starbucks and order a coffee. It's probably the only place in the world. I heard Singapore and Dubai is very safe too, but there's also a lot of opportunities here, I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
Japan is changing, right? Going from a deflation, like a negative interest economy, and now like things are changing together with like a lot of negative things with the declining population, all the Akiyas, all the succession problems and things, and now all the far right movements that are happening, that is probably impacting us negatively. But because a lot of things are happening, I think if you're positive and kind of ambitious and have this gambaru spirit that all Japanese people kind of like, I think there are tons of opportunities to do good things, really.
Yeah. That's a really positive way to look about it. And I think, even if there's a lot changing with, all the foreigners like traveling here and, far right movements, I think it just requires humility in some way to understand that, even I have to remind myself every day, I don't know everything about Japanese culture. I'm not, ever going to know everything, but I'm going to do my best. And when I have that humility, it really like makes me realize, oh, wow, like there's just like, everyone's there to support you. And it's like, you can get things done. It's just, there's a lot more opportunity to being here versus like, at least for me, like going from the US to Japan, I saw like a full career I could have had there, but it didn't excite me as much as coming here and doing all these things that is like a huge challenge. But
even though there is this far right movement happening in Japan right now, like you need good examples of good foreigners too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think you're doing a good job with
Yeah,
that.
I appreciate it. But I think it's like it's tough because everything that we're taught in other cultures, Japan is just completely different. And I see so many people that accidentally break rules or purposefully break rules, and it's like it will slide this time, but the next time, someone's gonna get stopped.
Totally.
And so it's tough, but just doing the best that we can to kind of adhere to the rules, I think, is the best that we can do.
Yeah, and just try. Like, just try and do your best.
Yeah, just try and be like a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah. I did a job for Tokyo government last week, and they asked me, what advice do you have for tourists coming here? And I just try. Just try and follow the rules.
Yeah.
Like, just try and fit in, and like, I think it's that simple. Just
it really is.
Normal courtesy. Like really.
See and do.
Yeah.
I'm like, monkey see, monkey do is the best advice I would give anyone.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Wow. And I guess if you don't have one, that's fine. But in Japan, or not in Japan in general, but is there any, with your career and everything that you've done, is there any book or any kind of piece of resources that you like go to in life to kind of like look towards? Yeah, or what's kind of the most helpful book that you've had that has helped you along the way in Japan?
In Japan, I wouldn't say Japan. I got this book when I went to Australia in 2016, about a year before I moved here. How to Make Friends and Influence People.
Oh, that one, Dale Carnegie. Yeah,
Dale Carnegie. Yeah. That's probably like the first kind of, like, I don't have a business degree. I'm learning now from I'm running a business now that just came out of my
successful one
hobby, really, in a way. So I have to learn all of these things. I never really studied business, but that's kind of like the first self-help business-y book that I read, I think.
And has like helped you in that process?
It helped me a lot, I think. And it's not about what's written inside all of it, I believe. It's about being aware that small changes, like it changes the dynamic and it changes how people see you and look at you. And it's kind of hard to implement things from that book in Japan, I believe, because the culture is so different. And you wouldn't just approach someone and just say their name over and over. So it's a book that's helped me, but I'm not sure it's helped me so much just being in Japan. Japan is probably more like Genki, the textbook, or something when it comes to grammar. Or
it is funny though, that book gets such a bad rep. But inside it's like the most simple concepts, like be curious, smile, and it's like it's like a full chapter on that. And so,
but it's like
it matters a lot.
It does.
It's things that we forget day to day, but
and things that you just need to be like reminded about, I guess.
Yeah. I guess with that, I'm also curious, what's the best piece of advice that you've received in terms of your career?
In terms of my career. In Japan, be on time.
Classic.
I think not so much in Japan, but elsewhere it's more about like be smiley, be like bubbly, be happy when you see people. But I don't really feel that in Japan. I think, especially since the masks came on during COVID, people were so like stone-faced to each other.
Gosh.
It's not as tough anymore, I believe, but it's still not that, like, when you greet people, it's still that kind of kabega.
There's like a bit of a wall.
In between people,
I agree.
in a more visible way than elsewhere, I would say.
I agree.
But be on time, be nice to people, and remember, this is something I had a big problem with moving to Japan. Remember people's names. Like, and the surname or the first name is when you say san, it's Nakamura-san, but it wouldn't be like Kazuhiro-san.
You never say their first name with
and then san.
Yeah,
so like in the beginning, because there would be hundreds of names kind of thrown at you.
Yeah.
Is that the first name or the second name?
Yeah, I always have that issue too.
But if you remember people's name in Japanese,
Yeah.
like that's already one step deeper, I believe.
Yeah, I always, oh gosh, even like I used to have a system in my head. If their last name is longer,
Yeah.
or if their name is longer, it's probably the last name.
Yeah.
But then there's like Abe Hiroshi or something like that. You're like, oh god, it's the last name. No. Sorry,
But you kind of learn these things after a while.
Yeah.
But especially when I was studying a lot of Japanese, like
Mhm.
the kanjis for names, they just come after some time. But the kanjis for places are still like,
It's so hard.
oh, like I wouldn't even. I can write my address where I live, but that's about it.
I agree. But what would you say? What's the best advice that you have for someone learning Japanese?
Get a Japanese partner, probably number one, because then you
Very practical.
but super practical. I think I'm very practical. But
That's so funny.
if you already have a partner and you don't want to get a Japanese partner, get Japanese friends.
Yeah, I agree.
And just be curious, really.
Mm.
And if you are in Japan, like you kind of have to learn hiragana, katakana, and be curious about kanji, because everything around you will become studying material. You're in the subway and you'll read like a weird ad about
That's so
some
true.
tamago who's talking to an egg, like a boiled egg. And it's like gonna be hiragana and katakana everywhere, kind of.
Yeah, and so you can learn.
Yeah, you can learn, but you won't be
times.
able to understand anything because all of these ads are just silly and stupid.
Yeah, but I like that process. And at least when I was in America, I obviously wasn't in a Japanese train or anything.
Yeah.
So then I would just write stuff everywhere or buy like Japanese magazines and like, you know, read through them. Like,
did you buy like Japanese stationery and like
I did, I think.
How did you like consume Japanese at the time?
YouTube.
Really?
Nico Namahoso. So I would talk to like random strangers online on this like
really?
Haishin platform. So it's like a live, it's kind of like TikTok live, I guess you could think about it back in the day. Japanese people who kind of were like nito, like people who were probably, they didn't have day jobs. They were just at home all day. They would just be on that website all day, just like doing nothing. And so if someone comes in, they can talk to them. And so I would just go in to it's
like a chat room
where no one was there, just that one person.
Yeah.
So I would have full time to just talk to them and practice my Japanese and, you know, just make it look like I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So I would do that. And then I'd actually become friends with them.
Yeah, of course.
And build like a relationship. And so some of them I still know to this day. And, you know, we're good friends. And it's so special.
I did a lot of lessons on italki.
Italki, yeah.
So I probably taken like 300 hours of lessons on it, but it was great. Like I woke up in the morning, I did a class from 9 to 10, and it was private, like for like $7 an hour.
Amazing.
Private, like we read a lot. We read a lot of news about Japan.
Oh wow.
And then every kanji that I didn't understand was like, it was perfect for JLPT and stuff. Wow.
So I think it's a better way because you can't necessarily get that learning.
No. Not at all.
Day to day.
But I find that the italki for talking was terrible.
Okay.
Because it was all this genki, like
Watashi
no namae wa Anton desu.
Yeah, no one talks
and you
like that.
you want that what you said about rap, about like real kind of slang, and you want to like learn, because even if you learn that, like if you go to an izakaya, you're not gonna understand anything.
That's true.
Because people are just gonna shout things, and there's gonna be this buzz around you about.
But I think the immersion method of just learning Japanese is always number one. If you want a natural Japanese speaking style, I think that's the best way to go. So yeah, it's cool hearing your experiences with that.
But still, for the intonation, I still have a really bit, like I have a hard time with it.
Intonation's really hard.
Yeah.
It's something that I have to
like up and down, like all of these things. It's
I mean, when I first came to Japan, I would say, so there's the transportation card Suica, and when you can go on trains with it, but you can also pay for things with it. So at the convenience store, you can pay. So then I would always be like, Suica de. And then I guess I didn't realize that I was pronouncing it wrong. Yeah. The intonation was wrong. But Suica is the name of the card, but Suica is watermelon.
Yeah.
So then they'd be like, how would you like to pay? And I'd be like, with my watermelon. And they'd always be a little bit like caught off guard.
Yeah.
And then eventually someone pointed it out and I was like, oh, I never would have known that my intonation. It's
You
just
haven't
such a
seen
small thing.
the funny clip with some Japanese dude who puts his Suica card in a Suica?
Oh
a
God, no,
watermelon,
no,
and
I
then
have
he
not.
goes into the subway.
Oh God. Maybe that's why we have a bad
Yeah,
rep.
maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was Japanese though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, I think just to wrap up, where do you kind of see your career going in Japan? Do you plan on living here long term?
I do. I definitely do. Like, we haven't talked much about my business, but I wrote a book about Akiya. That was kind of a response to all the tens of thousands of comments I got. It was really overwhelming, and I felt like I needed to put it into a nice product for people to understand. And it's helped a lot of people, not only people interested in buying and renovating houses, but also people interested in Japan.
Yeah.
Just like, how does it work in Japan? So that book has sold a lot.
Wow.
And it's really fun to hear when people have bought that book and it's been very helpful for them. Maybe they bought a house, or maybe they learned how to get rid of stuff, or maybe they knew how to bargain on a house, or how to find good contractors or cheap materials. So it's something that I felt like I gave a lot. And that felt so really, really good.
And then you launched a course after that too,
yes,
right?
Yes, that you are.
Yes.
We had the honor of having you on that course. Yes.
Yeah, and so that was another kind of step to even deepen.
Yes,
as much as you can
after the book, people were like, "Okay, I want more information."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh well, we can make more."
Yeah.
So we were in about like half a year of post production, but we released that course, Akiya Masterclass, about 2 months ago.
Wow.
So we have some students and we do monthly calls and kind of directing people in the right. You've seen the material, right?
Yes. And you're doing that alongside, renovating more Akiyas, making content. And so is that your main business right now?
So yeah, it is. So it's for the past year, we've been renovating 5 houses in Tokyo into short-term stays. So my main business is we buy these cheap Akiyas. We spend a lot of time and money renovating them. I just like to create things, really. And creating a piece of content and creating a house is kind of a similar process in a way. It's just that renovating a house is so many people involved and it just so much more time consuming. But we're running this short-term rental brand, I would say. We have 5 houses.
Wow.
Aiming towards, like, most of our guests are Europeans and Americans, most of them. Not so many Japanese. But we've been more or less fully booked since day one.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, and a lot of celebrities are staying.
Wow.
A lot of American celebrities.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of fun, really. I think they see my content and then they're like, either they or their managers are reaching out, because we get like...
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so you can manage that and have people stay, and you'll still have the time to work on your other businesses as well.
So I have hired a lot of people the past few months. So we're 4 people now. So but all of us, we're doing, I used to do all of these things, but the busier you get, like, the less time you have. So you need to like find a good person who can kind of do the job better than you. So I've learned how to hire people.
Wow.
And it's not easy. Interview people.
Yeah.
For my first job ad, I had like 120 people applied. And I've never read a resume in my life. I've never even made one in my life. So then, like, just scrolling.
So you're like, how am I supposed to read this if I've never made one myself?
And how are you supposed to like interview people?
Yeah.
Do you go by feeling? Oh, I like this dude. I would like to have a beer with this guy. Or it's like, oh, this dude is actually capable of doing the job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've learned so much. But you get better and better at it all the time.
Exactly. And you've hired like a creative director too to work with.
A creative director, a really good French guy.
Wow.
Who has experience in the luxury industry in France. So we're a really good team. We're working on some really nice and cool partnerships. And we're out and renovating the waterfall house right now. And he's out there with me 2-3 days. And whenever he's not shooting, like, I make him carry he's not so happy with it, but we're a really good team. That's right incredible. Now. And then we have a builder and then a guest experience manager as well.
Well, you went from, feeling maybe insecure that you didn't go to college and finish it all the way, but you're building a successful business here.
I would hope so, at least. But we're doing a lot of like cool things. So I don't really know what direction we're going, because it's renovating houses. I've only been doing it for myself. I've been like consulting a little bit for like bigger companies too, but I like to create.
Yeah. You and once you know that, you can just kind of go fully into it.
Yeah. So like I like to create, but then creating over a year the same project, it's a little bit like tiring. Yeah. So I like when the projects are a little bit shorter and maybe not, it doesn't need to be a big house for myself. If someone else deals with like contractors and stuff, and I can just create or co-create together with these people, that would be an ideal scenario.
Yeah. And you kind of know your strengths now, and you know how to go towards that. And so I'm excited for everything that you're going to be building.
So am I.
Well, what's coming up next?
So for the past year, we've renovated 5 houses in Tokyo, right? And I realized that I became more of kind of like a project manager in a way, like production, because I was dealing with all the buying the right material and doing like some easy renderings and then communicating with what we needed to buy. And I missed this feeling of being by the tools and touch wood and like So we bought this house that used to be owned by a very famous Japanese family by this waterfall. And when my Tokyo project was done, I was like, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be by the tools, and we're going to do this the right way. So that's my project for the next 4 or 5 months. But I'm also designing an apartment together with one of Japan's biggest renovation companies that is going to go for sale. So we're selling it in September. So we bought it.
That's coming up.
So it's not done. Like they're renovating right now. So the construction is finished in about 2 weeks, with a big round Japanese window and a really nice view over Tokyo in Toritsu Daigaku.
And so you're working with them to build this. Interesting. So you designed it?
I designed it and I make content about it. So it's basically like the creative part of things.
Yeah, so, it's the best of both worlds. So you can have that short-term project and the long-term kind of mix.
Yeah. And it's very fun because I only know the way I'm doing things. And this is a really famous big company, and the way they do things, like their scheduling, and it's the most Japanese way. Yeah. It's like every day is for the next 7 months is like scheduled.
So you get to learn Japanese renovation. Yeah. Directly from the source.
Totally. But I probably teach them a lot of things too, with like details and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah, why did we use a different material for the window sills? So like we're teaching each other things, and if this is successful, like we're probably gonna keep doing it. But first we gotta sell it too. So and I don't know anything about
you'll figure it out.
I hope so. The product is really good.
That's amazing.
It's gorgeous. So I'm confident that someone happy will be calling this house home.
That's incredible. Well, so that's the main thing that's coming up.
That is the main thing. 20th of September, we have an open house. So please.
Yeah, I'd love to visit.
Please come and say hi.
Yeah, and thank you so much. It's super inspiring hearing your story.
Thank you, Ananya.
Wow. So super grateful. I'm excited to kind of see where your journey takes you next.
Yeah, back to you.
And if you guys are interested in learning more about Anton, please check out his information in the description. And you'll definitely see him on your feed as well. So thank you guys so much for listening to Tokyo Talks. If this conversation moved you, inspired you, or made you question the status quo, share it, subscribe, and follow for more so we can keep sharing inspirational stories. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
ありがとうございます。
じゃあねー。